think a real missed opportunity in the education space is teachers just shopping at stores that are for teachers. But thrift stores, vintage shops, junk stores, that is the gold that you can just find magical stuff to sprinkle all over your classroom. So today we're going to stop into a couple of my favorites here in New Mexico. So one of the things I'm looking for is storage solutions. So maybe that's cool little boxes that they could have, things like this is an old bread box, a toolbox, maybe something like that would be fun to put art supplies in, classroom supplies in, and then you can label all of the drawers. Maybe that is a box like this where I don't want to pull that out because it doesn't look stable, but just more interesting solutions than the regular stuff you would find. Another thing I'm looking for are artifacts. An old patch from a letterman's jacket, or this varsity letter that's up here. Things like this might be an ode to something that's like in your community or around your community and are just fun. When parents come in, when students come in, you're giving an acknowledgement of where they are and where they come from in their community. Another thing I love are actual vintage school pieces, like this old desk that you could put in the front of your classroom or to the side as extra seating. Maybe it's a special seat for special kids that need to focus and attention, but makes them feel cool because they get to sit somewhere neat. This one's interesting because it looks like it needs a little oil, but the seat turns back and forth. The top opens and closes. I don't like when people like paint them themselves. So buy it a little rough, sand it, put a little polyurethane on it, and for 20 bucks, you get this really cool school artifact in your classroom. Then there's just weird stuff, like this speaker that makes me want to make an announcement to my class. If I could figure out how to connect this to something, I'd absolutely get this.
This is your captain speaking. The office will be flying at an altitude of 2 stories.
Or it's props that kids can handle, right? So this street rap album from, it looks like the early mid 80s, has tons of good hip hop. So if I was still teaching my hip hop class, I would love to bring in like an actual piece of vinyl to show kids. And for $15, I mean, like, it's a steal and it has such a big impact and can even become art in your classroom as well. Meter sticks for just a couple bucks. Now you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get these pretty cheap, but like just having cool old ones is I don't know, I think it just ups your game and just makes it more interesting in class. I love pennants. They remind me of when I was a kid, which is why we sell them on our website. Again, looking for nods or homages to the community with which you're teaching in. I also love this old like lunchbox. I saw another one in the front that was one of the old metal ones that I used to take to school when I was a kid, but just, this is weird stuff that like I'd use this to like keep things in, or maybe I'd just put my lunch in it, or I would make it into a treasure box for class, or make this into your hall pass, put some lettering on it, say hall pass, and this is what kids have to carry to the bathroom. Brody saw these, there's a whole pile of medals right here. I love buying old trophies or medals and then repurposing them for something else. Someone does a great job in your class, you can give them these. Somebody is, you could use this as a hall pass as well. It stands out and everyone knows that it came from your class, but just finding little ways to sprinkle a little bit of magic and a little bit of silliness on your day. I notice little bells like this. I saw one in the back too that looked like a golden apple, kind of reminded me of like that ball from Harry Potter, the snitch, is that what it's called, right? I also saw an old telephone over there. I've talked about this before. I love using telephones that don't work to mimic student, family, parent phone calls. Like this is what the phone call is going to sound like. I think that's just like a little bit of a funny way to handle a serious situation. This is just a couple of things I'm looking at in this store. Make sure to tune in for a video that I have coming up about what did I buy? How is this going to be set up in my classroom and all those sorts of things. Where's a place that you love to shop for your classroom that's not the typical spot? Put it in a comment below. I'd love to know where you're going and where you're finding treasure for your classroom. That's it for this time, gang. Peace.